Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host. I think I just hit the mic. Whatever. Anyways, I'm your host, Bastion. This is Nintendo News. Let's get to that news. First of all, this is basically a roundup of all kinds of different Switch things that have come to light now that there are some Switch units out in the wild. Nintendo, of course, sends Switch units to... I need to stop saying the word units, that sounds bizarre. But anyway, Switch consoles, let's start saying that. They send them out, of course, to various people to do reviews and whatnot. I am not one of those people because my channel is small potatoes, but if it were bigger, maybe next Nintendo console, we'll see. But anyways, because there are all of these Switch consoles out there, people have been doing all kinds of experiments and have been discovering all kinds of facts about them that either we didn't already know or somehow skimmed over. So let's get to some of those facts. The first one is not so fortunate. It is the fact that a lot of people have been reporting that their left Joy-Con controller randomly desyncs, either partially or completely randomly desyncs, which sounds like, oh my gosh, that's a huge issue. What the heck was Nintendo thinking? How did they not notice this? But it turns out it's mostly user error. Apparently, for some reason, specifically the left one, really doesn't like anything to be blocking it and the Switch console. And by the console, I mean the actual tablet, whether it's in your hands or docked into the base or whatever. So it's very important that you not have like a lamp or something, or maybe even your leg or whatever, blocking the Joy-Con controller and the Switch console. Whether that's something that Nintendo can fix via a firmware update or not, I don't know, but since it is just user error and we now know how to prevent it, we shouldn't have this issue, right? But on the plus side, we now know that the Switch Pro controller auto-syncs when plugged in via USB. This might not sound like that big of a deal, but some of you might remember the headache and hassle to be had with trying to sync your Wii emotes to your Wii or to your Wii U. Well, they improved it a little bit with Wii U, but still, sheesh, syncing Wiimotes was no fun. Thankfully, the Switch Pro controller will just auto-sync if you plug it in with a USB cord, so that's awesome. Eliminates that whole setup process. Back to the con side of this list is that the Switch does not allow for Bluetooth headsets. If you were hoping that you're going to be able to do some wireless headset stuff with the Switch, no such luck. Of course, there is that app that Nintendo's putting out that will, let you do sort of chat stuff on your Switch with your smartphone device, and that can have its own Bluetooth headset, so that's a workaround, right? But back to the pro side of things, the Switch tablet thing, it does allow for charging via an external battery pack type thing. A lot of us were wondering if that was possible. Somehow out there came a rumor, no, it's not possible at all, which didn't make any sense to me. I mean, anything can charge with a rechargeable battery pack type thing, so of course it is possible. So you just need to buy a couple of those things. I'm sure you already have some. If you are familiar with Pokemon Go and we're used to that draining your phone, you probably already bought a battery pack. So you can go ahead and plug that into your Switch and charge it back up. Which brings us to the battery life. Now, this will vary game to game depending on how intense it is, not to mention it will vary depending on what your screen brightness is and all that kind of stuff, but an experiment done with Breath of the Wild, which of course is the game most of us are going to be playing from the get-go, at the default brightness setting, so not extremely bright, but not so dark you can't see it, found that at the normal settings, the battery lasts 2 hours and 40 minutes. At that point, it will pop up a warning message saying, yikes, we're down to 1% here, dude, so you might want to charge it. Not that verbiage, of course, that would be not very Nintendo, but anyways, and then the experiment found that even after that point, at saying it only had 1% left, still stayed on for another 9 minutes, so that's pretty good. You don't have to freak out and rush to find a place to charge it. You can go ahead and power off at that point, or keep playing for another 9 minutes if you're almost home and almost able to charge it, or if you can dig around and find your external battery pack or whatever, you're probably going to be just fine. But anyways, that's good news. 2 hours 40 minutes is plenty long enough, I think. Most flights, well, I don't know. Most flights I've been on haven't lasted much longer than that, so it should be okay. But anyways, that's it for this episode of Nintendo News. See you guys tomorrow for some more news. See you then. Bye, guys.